What's going on YouTube? Heylow here, bringing you another Total Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So, today Humble Bundle had a sale, so I decided to pick up the Wood Elves for pretty cheap, and we are going to be trying them out in some ladder matches. Alright, so let's jump in. So today, Wood Elves, front line of Eternal Guard, 5 units, back line of some Asari Spears with the Wildwood Rangers. In the middle here, we're going to have 2 units of Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. We have a Glade Lord, the Glady in particular, on her horse. And then we also have a Branch Wraith hiding out with the Wildwood Rangers. The Hawk Riders in the rear in air support. And in the front, we're going to have 3 Glade Riders, 2 of which have Hagbane tips. So that is it for my build, and we will jump over to Norsca. So front line of Marauders with a back line of triple Marauder Berserkers with a Fimir, Balefiend, Lore of Fire, Wolfric on a chariot supported by 2 units of Marauder chariots, and then each flank is supported by an armored Skinwolf. Way out here on the left flank we have Norscan Warhounds, 2 units. So that is it. Let's get going. Okay. So to start, going for a little more of an infantry build with range support and some skirmish cav. Decided to bring the Hawk Riders because Norsca doesn't have very good skirmish capability or a lot of ranged. So all you really have to worry about are skirmish cavalry, which the Glade Riders will pretty handily deal with, and javelins, which again the Glade Riders or Glade Guard will pretty handily wrap up. So not too worried about that. Over here we have the Norscan Warhounds pushing up, trying to get in on the Glade Riders. We're going to pull them back, start dropping some good damage in on them, try and get rid of them fairly early so that they're not harassing us or trying to get into the back line. We're going to start pulling over here and try and get towards our line so that we can support and pull in either the Eternal Guard or the Asari Spears. Seeing as he is handily in pursuit, going hard in the paint, we pull the Asari Spears in. This is a great move to try and do to your opponents, is if they're busy and preoccupied in another part of the battlefield and they just hit the attack order. If they're not paying attention, you can draw them back through your line. And you can see here the Asari Spears are absolutely wrecking some of the Norscan Warhounds, and then you've already created a nice big gap for your skirmish cav. So Hawk Riders, dealing with some armored Skinwolves, as well as my Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips, trying to drop some good damage in. Over on this flank, the Chariots have come through. They're going after my Glade Guard, but the Eternal Guard are here, and we're just kind of going for a surround on Wolfric right now. We have the Wardancers coming in. We drop Prey of Anathema. We're going to start dropping some shots in with the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts on the right flank. Over here, Glade Riders popping some good shots, trying to get that poison effect to do some good damage and take the Chariots out because they're going to be an issue. Our Asari Spears got a little overextended here trying to deal with the Norscan Warhounds, and our Glade Riders end up getting grabbed by the Skinwolves, which is very, very unfortunate for us. But the Hawk Riders are hot in pursuit. So over here, still trying to deal with these Chariots. They're taking a pretty substantial amount of damage, but Wolfric here, already below half health. He's going straight into the core, trying to go after my Glady. So we're going to pull in the Wildwood Rangers to try and do some damage. Unfortunately, they don't have very good targets at all, but I wanted to have them just in case I came up against like a line with Marauder champions because they're very heavily armored. But a big blob of Marauder Berserkers, really wishing I had like a Vortex or an AoE spell right now because I would destroy this completely. Unfortunately, I do not. So here our line engagement's going pretty decent. He tries to drop a Vortex spell on my Glade Riders. Unfortunately, he misses, so no good payout there. Kind of ineffective. I'm not a big fan of Flamestorm. It's just not very reliable at all. So Armored Skinwolves over here get into my Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. We're trying to pull them out. Wardancers with Asari Spears getting in here, and they're going to do great work against the Wolf Boys. The big doggos over here getting Darth Maul to death. I love Wardancers. This is probably my favorite unit, having gotten Wood Elves. Like, this is what it's all about right here. Wardancers. That's fantastic. They're so cool. Over here, Wolfric the Wanderer pinned down by Wildwood Rangers. They are just tearing him a new one. His Chariot's immobile with Prey of Anathema tying him down. And we have the Glade Guard trying to take out some of these Armored Skinwolves as well with the support of our other Asari Wardancers. So yeah, the Wardancers have been doing great work so far dealing with the Skinwolves. Our skirmishers are pretty safe so far. His warhounds get back into the fight. He pulls them in to try and go after my glade riders. Fortunately, the glade rider is very fast. Hawk riders up here just trying to plink some damage in and deal with some of these marauder berserkers and take out these chariots who are still running amok. One thing I noticed with chariots is skirmisher fire does a very good job of taking their health out, but their models will last for a very long time because they have a very large health pool but very low model count. So you always have to be conscious of that. They're gonna do surprisingly well when you're trying to focus them, unless you have like Shopti or something like that with very high single shot damage. But Glady over here with the Branch Wraith dealing with some more Marauders. This big Berserker blob is just tearing me a new one on my flank over here, but we're going to charge the Hawk Riders down into melee just to start kind of getting a good charge in on the Berserkers, try and do some extra damage. Some of these Hounds coming in to try and support, but we do have the Eternal Guard over here with the Glady and Branch Wraith. And we do drop Earth Blood on this little pocket we have here, saving some of our magic to the late game just to keep ourselves sustained. But the Skin Wolves over here coming back again, and we're going to start dropping some more shots on them. Wolfric tries to get the boat off, but doesn't really do too much. He probably should have used that a little earlier, where it's a little more effective because there's large, dense unit formations. But unfortunately, our Glade Guard with Starfires are getting pretty chewed up right now, so we drop Prey of Anatharema for the last time on the Armored Skin Wolves to stop them, so we can get our skirmishers out. Unfortunately, they do rout immediately afterwards, so they're just kind of sitting here in route, and Wolfric comes in to try and get at the Glady, and we're just going to start trying to do some damage on him. He does pop Sword of Torgald, so he's going to be very strong, but he is caught up in the middle of Glade Riders as well, so not a good situation for him, and he is going to rout out. Over in the front line, we're still dealing with this engagement. Fortunately, we've been able to take out a lot of the Marauder Berserkers. Asari Spears doing a great job with their physical resist, and the Branch Wraith also doing a great job because of the physical resist and its magic attacks. So some of our skirmishers are alive still. Glade Riders are essentially a light cavalry now, and we're just going for some charges, trying to support what is left of our infantry. Very good fight, but it's definitely turning into a grindy engagement. Balance of power tipping gradually more and more into our favor as we route things out and shatter them. His Poison Warhounds are off the battlefield. He drops a Burning Head here. It's going to do some decent damage, but we're going to pop our Earthblood again. As you can see at the late game, very useful at keeping like your pocket infantry alive. So yeah, GG to my opponent. Very well played. I really enjoyed his build. It was a lot of fun to play against. The Armored Skin Wolves aren't something you see all the time. Usually it's Fimir. But Armored Skin Wolves are very fast, so they're not bad against the Wood Elves, trying to chase down cavalry or skirmishers if you're expecting a kitey build. But yeah, over here our build did pretty decently. Eternal Guard holding out for a pretty long time. Asari Spears getting some chevrons, doing an awesome job taking out the Warhounds and dealing with the Skin Wolves. Unfortunately, Wildwood Rangers only getting 10 kills. Definitely not worth the cost you pay for them, but having that extra armor piercing to support the Eternal Guards is very useful against Norsca, because the odds that they may go full shield in case of kite builds is fairly high. So having that extra oomph in your line is definitely going to help you out. Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts picking up some decent kills, mostly just doing damage on Wolfric and the Skin Wolves, things like that. Glade Rider's doing pretty good. Unfortunately, one of our Hagbane tips got caught out by some wolves and got chased off the battlefield, but our other two picked up some good kills, doing some good damage. Hawk Riders were a great harassing unit, came in, helped us break up that big Berserker blob. But over here, Wolfric picking up 118 kills, doing some really good work with that Chariot, always good pick. His Chariots as well, 23, 32 kills. Not a ton on paper, but it was on important units like the Glade Guard. So definitely very useful for him to get. Skin Wolves were doing great as well, 29 kills and 50 kills. Getting in a lot of damage on my archers and one of my skirmishing units getting chased off the battlefield. So good work by my opponent. It was a really fun game. But yeah, that is going to be all for today, guys. I will be bringing you some more Wood Elf gameplay. I'm going to be keeping up on trying them out and trying to get some good games for you. But drop a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. If there's anything in particular you guys like, feel free to ask. Otherwise, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys next time.